Hey everybody, we are here for lesson 4 of vocab and grammar. Hopefully you don't need the reminder again, but you should have a notebook out. You should be actively taking notes on this information, including parts of speech and pronunciation for these vocab words. So we've got 10 words again this lesson, starting with bigot, which is a noun. Bigot is one who is intolerant of differences in others. Expunge is a verb. It means to erase or eliminate. Candid is an adjective. It means outspoken and blunt. Argot is a noun. It means special words or phrases used by a specific group of people. Negligence is a noun. Careless neglect, often resulting in injury. Appease is a verb. Means to calm, to make satisfied, often only temporarily. Strident is an adjective. It means harsh sounding or grating. Chaos is a noun. Means complete disorder. Augment is a verb. It means to enlarge or to increase in amount or intensity. And then jingoism is a noun. It means extreme chauvinistic patriotism, often favoring an aggressive, warlike foreign policy. Those are the vocab words. Let's jump into our grammar topic for this lesson, which deals with colons and semicolons. We are going to be taking a look at colons and semicolons. So we're going to walk through two different tutorials together, starting with this one, which is using colons and commas before quotations. So let's take a look. Writers use quotations to include someone else's words or ideas in their writing. Sometimes we introduce quotes with either a comma or a colon. Typically right now you are all probably used to introducing them with commas, but it can also be done with a colon. So if we look at some examples, the Queen said, comma, I love brownies. Or we could have the Queen made a joyful announcement, colon, I love brownies. And if you can already probably notice the difference, here we've got an incomplete thought before the quote. Here we have a complete thought. So if we were looking at how we choose which one to use, you use a comma if the words before the quotes are an incomplete thought that end in words like said or wondered. And then you would use a colon if the words before the quote form a complete thought. Complete thoughts can stand alone as a full sentence, and that is typically the rule with colons. You only put colons after complete thoughts that can stand alone as a full sentence, whether you're introducing a quote or whether you're introducing a list of items. Anything that comes before a colon has to be a complete thought, so it has to be a full sentence. So let's try it out. Are the bold words a complete thought or an incomplete thought? If you said incomplete thought, you are correct. All right, so let's take a look at which punctuation mark should go in the blank space below. Ashley asked, we need a punctuation, and then the quote, how many cookies can I buy with $5? If you said a comma, you are correct. All right, so let's take a look at our next tutorial, talking about connecting clauses with colons and semicolons. All right, colons and semicolons help readers understand how your ideas relate to each other. And I would say that these punctuation marks are ones that people are typically confused about. And so if they do use them, they sometimes use them incorrectly, or most people just avoid using them at all. So let's take a look at this so we can actually use these tools and use them correctly. So we use a semicolon to connect two complete thoughts that are closely related. So the important thing to note, a couple things, is that They have to be complete thoughts or full sentences on either side of the semicolon, and they have to be closely related. So take a look at this example. Some birds are sweet, others are terrible thieves. We've got two complete thoughts. They are related to one another, so we can connect it with a semicolon. So the semicolon introduces a new related piece of information. Notice, and this is really important, that the second thought starts with a lowercase letter. If you're connecting two complete thoughts with a semicolon, you do not capitalize the letter of the first word that comes after the semicolon, even though it is technically a complete sentence. You can also use a phrase like in fact, therefore, or however after a semicolon to tell readers more about how the ideas are related. But again, notice the the capitalization, that the first letter of the first word after the semicolon is not capitalized. So let's take a look at colons. You use a colon instead of a semicolon to introduce an explanation or a restatement of a complete thought. So, for example, Cassie has an idea, colon, we should give the alien a balloon. This is an explanation of what her idea is, so a colon makes sense to use. So let's try it out together. How should these thoughts be connected? First, we will make 30 gallons of ice cream, blank. We will buy an ice cream truck. If you said a semicolon and next, you are correct. So let's try one more. How should these thoughts be connected? There's one problem with your plan, blank. Of our ice cream truck will melt while we're buying the truck. All of our ice cream will melt while we're buying the truck. If you said colon, you are correct. All right, so that is a basic overview of how to use colons and semicolons. Hopefully it provides a little bit of clarification for you, and hopefully you took some good notes on those punctuation marks.